Hey everybody, Drew McLellan here from Agency Management Institute. As we wrap up the month of January, I've gotten to spend a lot of time with agency owners this week, and as a result, have fielded a lot of questions. Some of the questions I got asked this week were, why do you believe that referrals and word of mouth are not the best way for me to build my agency? Another question that fostered quite a conversation was, is it possible to change an employee who clearly thinks of their work as a job versus being truly invested and thinking of it as their profession or their career? And another question I got asked was, what tricks are agencies doing to get their own websites done in less than a year? So we're going to talk about the referrals and word of mouth question this week. So I'm not saying referrals and word of mouth are bad, and I'm not saying you should be excited when you get a good referral or a great word of mouth recommendation from someone and an opportunity to pitch someone who has been told to give you a call. I don't think that's bad at all, but what I think it comes with some inherent disadvantages, and I don't think it's enough. So here are the inherent disadvantages. Number one is you have no control over how often that happens. And so if you need new business and you need to increase your AGI and you are passively sitting around waiting for the phone to ring or waiting for you to get an email from somebody who says, hey, Babette told me that you're doing a great job for them and so I should call you, that's a really uncomfortable position to be in if you're sitting around waiting for that to happen. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of you being so passive about growing your own business. The other thing that I don't like about word of mouth or referrals is you have no control over who walks in the door and whether or not they're actually a good fit for your business. But if you count on only referrals and word of mouth, then the reality is because you want to grow your business, because you want to get some new business wins, whatever walks in the door, you feel more obligated to accept them as a client because you don't have a lot of other prospects or opportunities. So I'm fine with you having word of mouth and referral clients or prospects walk in the door, but I want you to have a complete and robust new business program that allows you to be very judicious about, just because somebody walks in the door doesn't mean they're a good client. So I want you to be able to go, you know what? I don't really think we're a good fit, but let me introduce you to someone else who I think can really help you. Or, you know what, we're full. We are out of capacity right now. We can't take on a new client. So either we need to wait for a few months or I can refer you to someone else. And the way that you get to a point where you get to pick and choose your clients is not by this passive sitting around waiting for people to walk in your door. The way you get to the point where you can choose who you work with and how you work with them is by having a very defined new business program. And the new business program for agencies in 2021, that are really working are new business programs that allow you to cherry pick who you work with and actually attract the right clients to you. So when your sales funnel, think of a sales funnel at the very top of the sales funnel, when that's super full and there's constantly, think of it, you went fishing, right? And there's a lot of fish in that net. And there's a lot of fish that you want to eat. There's salmon and great trout. There might be some catfish and there's a boot or two. So when the top of the net is full, as things fall down to the middle of the net and people are getting ready to actually make a purchase, you can say yes to the salmon, yes to the trout, no to the catfish, no to the boot. But if you only have one or two things at the top of the funnel and one's a boot and one's a catfish, well, guess what? You may be eating both the boot and the catfish because you have no other choices. So I want you to have a more sustainable and reliable business development program that you control. So there's nothing passive about it. You control it. And you can dial it up or dial it back as you need to, but you are filling the top of that funnel with great prospects so that you can cherry pick out the ones that you want. And then if a great prospect happens to come to you through word of mouth or a referral, by all means, go after it. But if it's a boot or a catfish of a referral, you can just simply say, we need to pass. You can't do that if you're counting completely on word of mouth and referral. So that's why I don't think that is a good way for you to solely build your business. I hope that helps. I'll be back next week with some more questions and some more answers.